XMAS.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome to the Kylie album Showdown podcast, Christmas special. All I can say is well done, boys. Well done. That was brilliant.
That was harder than trying to say the Time Bomb title. My brain just went all over the place.
You're
Gone
very well.
red. I read my faces. I'm embarrassed for it.
I
thought you did well. You did well. Well done. I know you've been dying to do that, Gary. Don't you lie to me now. You've been looking forward to doing that all year.
I mean, I do it on dog walks. I do it when I'm walking down the street. I do it
People just look
everywhere.
at you.
Everybody's going XMAS, Alan. That's what it
They
is.
are. They are. I just wanted to show off the album, so that was my role in that little charade.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is a very special one-off. We just decided that we would get together because the podcast is over. We completed it last week. A really great episode, actually. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But there's so much has happened in the last week in Kylie
Yes.
world that we
Oh, my
thought, you know
goodness.
what? Look, we cannot have at least a little half hour with everybody. So, I mean, Gary, hello to Ellie and hello to Gary, by the way. I
Hello.
hope you're both well. Well, I'll go to Gary first. Gary, like, what about last week? Seriously.
I was an emotional wreck, like an actual wreck. I got whipped up like a lot of the Kylie fans did. I was texting Alan and Elliot, telling them that they had to download this song.
And I have to, when I show
Yep.
them the text, it wasn't just you have to, it was really threatening. Elliot will tell you, it was absolutely.
It's
Actually,
basically the
I'm
it
going
was
to
basically
read it.
the
I'm going to
meme.
read it.
It was the meme of
I'm
like
sorry.
at gunpoint, like just photoshopping in a gun, just being like, "You will do this to me. You will."
It wasn't even like you had to download all 4 versions. Look, count yourselves lucky that text came before the remix came out on Thursday, because it would have been 5 versions
Oh God, of course.
on the Thursday had you have done that. But
I'm just drowning in versions. Just drowning.
There's been too many texts since to go back all that way, but I genuinely was like, maybe I should call the police because I'm slightly concerned that it's getting very threatening. But yeah, you were very, very excited. But what a week for Kylie fans, like an incredible, no one, I mean, we had no idea the album was going to go to #1. No idea. And then we were just talking about the chart trajectory of the single going all over the place. It was just the cherry on top, right? Of a fantastic Kylie week.
Well, it's a Kylie year. I think it's a really.
it is a year.
This is why I think it's so important that we actually did this episode, because I think it's a celebration of everything that's led to tension to her and everything this year. It's been such a Kylie celebration year. None of us knew this Christmas album was coming, and all of a sudden it became the album that we didn't know we needed or wanted, but we got it. And then on top of it all, in 2025, we got a Christmas #1. Like, Kylie is #1 on the singles chart as we speak, as we record that. If you'd have asked me that a year ago, like, I would never have said that was possible. If you asked me a month ago, I wouldn't have said it was possible.
No.
But
were there not any rumblings at all? Like, were there not any rumblings at all online for like a Christmas album coming like in the past few months, or was it just like
I don't think so.
Yeah, did it just
When did
appear?
she first announce it? Was it on Instagram or something?
Yeah, it was in like October.
And it was
I think,
only
or
like
late October.
Yeah, it was like maybe 2 months of a run-in. Yeah, no, she totally kept it under wraps. And they were.
I knew since earlier in the year that she had the Amazon exclusive this year.
You did actually said that to me.
I did know that. But I didn't know
the song.
Yeah. But you didn't know it was XMAS.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It clearly takes a lot of planning, because you know what, that has become a thing. Amazon. I don't use Amazon, but they have had. I mean, it's 10 years of doing this now. They've had a lot, haven't they? They did it with a lot of artists over the last few years, Tom Grennan and stuff like that. But this year seems to take on a life of its own. But I watched it, I can't remember where it was. It might have been a clip, but she was saying that they actually did the first recording session, I think, in March, and then May, and then July. So, they were working on it. She knew it was coming since March. You have to do that shit well in advance.
What's even better about that story is that the idea for XMAS apparently relates back to the first edition of the album, which is 10 years old, Kylie Christmas original. And it was her and her guitarist had wines in some bar in Berlin and had a joke to say, we should do like a Christmas version of the YMCA. We'll call it XMAS. And basically they've sat on the idea for 10 years and this year decided to actually get in the studio. So she brought her guitarist in with Duck and Biff and they made XMAS. Like, it's just... Yeah. But I have the original vinyl. I want to show you. I was there, the OG, back 10 years ago. I remember there was loads of like people were really unhappy with the imagery for that version. And then she did another version the year after. The imagery was much, much better. And then you
Why
fast
were they
forward to
unhappy with it?
now.
I think it's quite nice.
Oh, it was
Don't you
a bit
like it?
tweedy, wasn't it? She was on a sleigh, like, yeah. But then you look at now, and she's in latex, sat on a box, looking like an absolute. This is the Amazon version I got, the green vinyl, which I haven't actually opened yet. I will unbox it. But
because we were talking about a few weeks ago, weren't we? But the fact that like that you have to get the Amazon vinyl to get XMAS. Like all the other versions of the vinyl, it's the same on her web store. I feel that I'd to see it.
I noticed.
Is it the same on that one?
Yeah, on the web store ones, all of them. The only one that has XMAS
say on your
it.
one, Alan. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, and I'm just checking out. I never thought to even check. No, this is because my friend, thank you, Andrew, bought me this, which is the blue vinyl from the Kylie store. And no, it's not on there either. But I think that helped the single, though, right? The fact that it was kind of hard to get, you know.
Interesting.
So she made it so you had to stream it really or buy it before you could own it. So yeah.
But
listen, big shout out to the marketing team.
Let's go back to the original, to the OG, and like what's been really interesting for me is like this original album got to number 12 in the UK charts 10 years ago, and like I think I was talking to someone last week about it. I was like, how different her star power is now 10 years later. Like that came after Kiss Me Once. So, she was heritage at that point. She wasn't like the star that she is again now. And the album, like, it just didn't really, the show in the Royal Albert Hall did more, I think, than the album did. The show is quite iconic and has been shown every year on TV and stuff ever since. But actually the album, I still think the original has some great tracks on it.
Yeah.
But it just didn't do what it did now. 10 years later, it got to number 1.
Do you think maybe, I know you were there, where you got a whole other point of view. You might have mentioned that before, I think, that you were there.
I don't know if I did. No.
You might, it might have come up. But you know what? I wasn't there, obviously, but I did watched it a few times now. And I think, if anything, what that did, she was definitely in a lull. Kiss Me Once, like, we don't need to go there again. And then coming into this. But if you were just a casual, maybe not even a casual fan, just a person who happened upon that, say at the time when it was shown the following Christmas, you couldn't help but sit back and go, wow, look at what the people there are enjoying so much. And I think if you'd stop for a second, you'd go, I never realized that huge connection she has with her fans. Because again, I think that show, although obviously she clearly enjoyed herself, it felt like a bit of a love letter, lots of it, to the fans as well, didn't it?
It did.
The whole Danny thing, and it was a fantastic. I think the album, like you say, didn't do well. Don't think anyone expected it to do well. I don't think we weren't that disappointed, were we? It wasn't like someone was saying it's going to be number 1. None. So when it went 12, I was like, oh, okay, not great, missed the top 10. But then the show came, and then she quickly reminded us all, look, album sales are one thing, but I'm fucking really good at what I do, you know?
Can't do this podcast without talking about that moment, the Danny moment. The kind of the story, as I remember in my head goes, is there was rumors that she might be there, but then everyone was watching her Instagram where she was going to be. And like 2 days beforehand, she was in Australia. So we were like, no, it's not happening. Like, she's not going to be there. And like, she was posting Instagram stories like up until the day beforehand. Cause I think when she says this on the TV, like she literally landed at midday that day from Australia. So there was like this, will she be there? Will she not? Like expectation. And it was obviously the first year of 100 Degrees, the song. Kylie started it, and the way that the stage was, like, because it's a weird stage in the Royal Albert Hall, and I remember just seeing the curtain move at the back, because everyone was watching, like, is she going to come out? Is she going to come out? And at the start, Kylie was just singing it, so I was like, oh, she hadn't invited her on. And I kid you not, if you were in the room that night, you experienced something that I have never, ever since. Like, and I've been to many Kylie shows, that roar, like the TV just doesn't capture it. It was just like, it was pandemonium. And like people were just, And I don't know what the love for Danny was. Like, I've seen Danny do Kids with Kylie live on a show in Manchester once. I've seen her a few times on with Kylie. But there was something about, because this was a Kylie and Danny song, they were reunited on stage. And that night, oh my God, I mean, it was such an amazing show anyway. But that night, just like,
Yeah.
if you were in the room and you're listening to this now, you know that roar
You
was
can hear
just...
the roar actually when you watch it on the
Yeah.
DVD if you have it, or when they show it on telly every year. You can hear the actual roar. I mean, I'm sure some of the gays realize I've gone into like 5 octaves just there because I screamed so hard. It was on a Mariah Carey level. So it was just an incredible moment. But again, she did there. That's another little nod, isn't it, to the gay fandom, isn't it? I mean, you know,
Absolutely.
just a wonderful nod, you know.
The thing that year as well is, so because there was all these rumors of, will there be like special guests with her? Don't hate me for this. You're both going to hate me for what I'm about to say. But remember, this is 10 years ago. I really liked the James Corden track, Only You. I really actually wanted him to be there. Look at Helen's face. He's going to go for me. I really hoped that James Corden was going to be there, and he wasn't.
We listen and we don't judge.
This why. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't really mind James Corden as a person, but yeah, no, we're not judging, you know. No, I'm silently judging. But he,
you're totally judging me.
This was pre his total sort of, you know, or meltdown that he went through for 2 odd years.
Before he went to America, I assume.
Yeah,
he was in the States at the time. He was big in the States that time.
Christ.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it was a big deal that she got him on the record.
Is it about 5 years now, maybe, since he kind of went, since his image kind of took a trashing. So, I mean, I don't think at the time anyone was that surprised that she had him on there. But it is telling, isn't it, that he's not on any of the new iterations. They've just quietly gone, yeah, we're not going to pop that there anymore.
They kept Frank Sinatra, they kept Danny Minogue, but they happily got rid of the Iggy Pop.
I was going to say, I didn't notice. I didn't think rid of Iggy Pop. What a strange combination.
But there was an even stranger combination on the second iteration. Alan, here's a test for you. Think about who was the duets on the second. Right?
I get confused because I thought that James was on the second one.
Now, James on the first one. Go on, look on Spotify and tell me who's the most random.
I want to be surprised because I don't know. So I'm
let me find
fascinated.
I've gone too far down. She's just got too many albums now. You have to scroll through. Let's see. Remember, Mika.
Mika, there you go. You got it.
Wonderful. See, I kind of like him. I know people think he's a bit naff. I quite like him.
He's having a little bit of resurgence now, isn't he? Because I'm sure he's touring or he's doing something at the moment.
He's touring because he's on that TV show, isn't he?
He's doing arenas and he's on a show called The Piano. Wow. Yeah. He's actually doing arenas. Yeah, I think he still has a pretty big audience. You know?
He does. Alan, look on the as you're on Snow Queen, another song on there that didn't make it to the new version, but that you would never have expected her to do. It's
Everybody's Free to Feel Good.
No, I fucking love that song. That's a great song.
That's a great song. That is a great song, regardless of it being a little bit kind of, you know, Euro pop.
Here's a test for you. Everybody's Free to Feel Good. That was the TV ad campaign for what brand that year? Come on.
I want to say Matalan.
Fuck off. Matalan.
Joking.
Really shooting for the...
It was Boots. It was Boots.
I'm joking.
It was Boots.
That's a bit better. That's a smidge better.
It was Boots. The other one that I found weird on the album is Stay Another Day. She did the East Dean classic.
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually really, really beautiful.
Keep playing songs.
And I went back to see the show the second year at the Royal Albert Hall. So she did Kylie Christmas again the year after. And she did 2 nights of Kylie Christmas the year after. And I went the first night, and she did Stay Another Day the first night, and then she scrapped it. She didn't do the second night because the first night went on for fucking hours. So she's only ever performed it live once. And it's actually a really good version. But
it's a bit of a perennial classic. I defy anybody not to sing along with Stay Another Day when it comes on the radio. Like, you know. Great song.
It was interesting to see. I was watching someone talking about like Christmas UK #1 singles and all this malarkey, and kind of how like this for XMAS has done something really interesting. I'm kind of go through the riff of what she was saying. Basically, there hasn't been a original Christmas song that hasn't been like a charity single or a cover since either, if you take it, it would have been E17's Stay Another Day. But if you don't believe that's a Christmas song, because some people are a bit touch and go with it, you then have to go back to 1990 with Cliff Richard's Saviour's Day. Which I was like, that personally blew my mind, because if you look at like the last time there was like a Christmas song was technically then was as a charity cover of, I think it was the Band-Aid one in 2004 that they did.
Yeah, Band-Aid 20. Yeah.
But then it was 2005 was the first time an X Factor contestant, and it was Shane Ward that won for Christmas #1. And
that's my goal. That's my goal.
And that was the kind of beginning of all of the X Factor contestants basically winning #1s for Christmas.
Well, X Factor hijacked it, but then Lad Baby came along, this terrible husband and wife, and they got it 4 years in a row, I think.
Yeah.
And then thankfully went, well, no one did, Elliot, because what happened was when they first got it, I think everyone went, it's a joke now, because it was a song about sausage rolls. Wasn't it about Greg's or something? It was literally like sausage rolls, I think. And everyone went like, oh, well, this has just been hijacked. So I honestly, I can't overstate how damaging it was to the idea of Christmas #1, because everyone just kind of tuned out. Then they got it the year after. Then the year after, and by that stage, I went, I'm not even going to look anymore. Yeah. So she really has. There's not been a chart Christmas battle for so long. And the idea that Miss Minogue would be in the mix, like it's fantastic, it's fantastic fun.
With her biggest, this is more stats from last week, I think Steve or James, one of our lovely guests from last week, sent me this. So it's her biggest week of sales and streams in 23 years since 2002 with Love at First Sight. So that's
I was about to say
what?
that.
It's her biggest week of sales. She sold like 50,000 copies. You don't sell that anymore.
But I mean, remember 2002 would have been not the height. I think the singles were slightly in decline, but you would still easily sell, Elliot. Some artists were selling like 100,000, 150,000, 200,000 singles in a week. And this was $3.99 at retail. So the single itself would generate maybe £1 million, just single sales. So if you were getting...
She's all about her money bags again, Elliot. She's obsessed.
But seriously,
interesting,
you could make probably, I mean, look, I'm probably guessing here, but if your single sells 250,000 copies, which she was doing easily, and then you release 4 of those off an album, you're paying for the album with the sales of the singles alone. Like, it's very different then. That's why everyone had a lavish video. Kylie always had a budget for videos, always. And they could afford to, because the sales alone from the single would pay for the video. Whereas now artists are having to fork out their own pocket and stuff. So for her to get her highest weekly sales since then is incredible.
Speaking of the video, did you see she recorded the 3 videos that she's made all in, was it Latvia?
Riga,
yeah. So, and apparently it's like, because they do incentives for people to go and record stuff out there, and it's cheaper. So they flew like her core team out there, but basically did three videos for the price of one. Hot in December, which is a banger.
Yes.
Office Party and XMAS all in the one shoot, effectively.
Nice.
It's hilarious. But that's what they have to do these days to make it work.
They could be taking the lead from Ireland, because Ireland gives huge tax breaks to Hollywood movies and to anybody recording, particularly if you use staff over there and you're hiring people while you're there. They'll give you a giant big tax break.
For Elliot's next porn movie, you can go to Latvia, Elliot. You'll get you get a discount out there. You'd be grand.
Are you bringing out a Christmas special? You should do a fully wrapped version of your next one.
I was going to say, no one wants things fully wrapped like that. I was going to say that it's quite interesting when you refer to singles and stuff. I was just dwelling on the fact that, like, I find it interesting now. Like, it is that weird sort of like paradigm shift where back then your only way of getting certain songs would to buy the single that was just solo song on a disc. But then if you wanted to then listen to the album, you had to buy the album. So then you would theoretically have 2 copies of the same song. Yeah,
I think that's why Heritage acts. And you can imagine how we felt, Ellie. And some singles were 3 versions, weren't they? CD1, CD2, CD3. You had to invest. But I think that's why a lot of older queens like us, we kind of like the product, because it's all we know, really. Do you know what I mean?
Who are you calling a queen?
Well, we are.
Yeah.
We're senior. I'm talking about senior queen. You want what was it? I'm sorry, king. So that's why we lap up the stuff when she drops it all. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
We do.
totally. And it led to many a chart battle in the past. And I think what will go down, I think, in memory for me of last Friday was, and we all did it in the end, which was hilarious. We were texting each other, like, who the hell has sat and listened to the charts on Radio 1 live in the last, I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I did it. And I mean, I kind of knew she had it, but it was that moment of just waiting to hear it announced. And like, there was so many people. Apparently, it was streaming on BBC News. It was on iPlayer. Like, people were listening to this chart battle, which hasn't happened in years. And it was so lovely to think that Kylie was involved in that and came out on top.
Well, back in the day, because I mean, in the 80s, I would religiously listen to the chart. Back then, with no magazines, no internet, so you would not know until he went, and this week's number 2 is. So we had many of those with Kylie back in the day. I remember being with hand on your heart, being quite excited about whether it gets to number 1.
Mine was Confide in Me, the one that I really didn't know if that was going to do well.
I remember Was it number 4 in the end?
It got number 2.
Oh, it was number 2, was it?
Yeah. It was number 2. I remember thinking it wasn't even in the top 40, and it was number 2. Like, it was crazy.
It was number 2. She put us through the ringer a lot, Elliot, because I think she's one of the artists with the most. We had this conversation before, with the most number 2s. So as a kid, it would the heartbreak was because the most exciting moment was, okay, who's number 2? And then she went into number 2 so fucking often that we kind of got used to the heartbreak in the end. She was the queen of number 2.
She was the queen of number 2. I've got questions for you. I prepared some questions.
Oh, God.
Okay,
there you
quiz
go.
time.
Right. So, Elliot, you're going to have to just wing this, mate. You might want to open your Apple Music and look at like the original track list. Well, thinking
the
of
original track list.
No, hang on. Which one should we go? Yeah, let's go with the new songs first of all, right? So I want to know the group consensus. We've got 4 new songs this year. We have This Time of Year, Office Party, XMAS, and Hot in December. Your favorite out of the 4 tracks, Alan?
If I'm totally honest, I'm going to say Hot in December. Yeah. I like it. I've had it on repeat a bit. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I think I'd be the same. Although I do give an honourable stupid mention to the concept of Office Party, where Kylie is portraying the concept of being like, ooh, what's an office party? I'd love to go to one of them. And it's like the most strangest, like that, like ad-lib bit near the end of the song where she's like questioning the concept of an office party. I found so stupid that I almost loved it. It was just that really bizarre, like, concept of it.
I think the thing about it is, like, she clearly has never been to one.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
that's what.
Clearly,
but that's such fun.
She did say on that. She did say in one clip, "Look, I'd like to have gone to one." So she openly admitted she'd never been to one. But also, they don't really exist anymore, do they? They're not really a thing. Who the fuck has gone to their? No one goes to an office party, do they? Then I think, look, it's sad. I'm going to be controversial. It's not as good as the others, is it? It's not.
I don't think so. I prefer This Time of Year. That would be my number 4 for sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hot in December is an absolute banger. I think I'll always now have a special place for XMAS because of what it's done.
Yeah, what it's done. Yeah.
But I'd be like, Hot in December.
Hot in December is getting an average of 150,000 streams a day on Spotify alone.
Yeah.
Because it's on their kind of trending, bubbling under thing. So, it's doing really well. I think maybe there's legs in that one too for something to do with that. Shame she didn't do a video for that over Office Party. Do you know what I mean?
She did do a video. She's done a visualizer for it, but it's not a proper
it's not
video.
Great, is it? No, she could have gone to town on that. But listen, do you know what? Like, she had a go on that, and I think they all complement each other in a way, don't they? And then, she got plenty of people talking about office parties again. It's just, if I had to choose one, Hot in December, it's a proper little banger.
It is. So that's question 1. So we've landed on Hot in December. If we then look across the plethora of the 3 albums and all the Kylie classics, whether they be cover versions or her songs, and I think to be fair, we probably have to have 2. I think 1 is too hard. What are your top 2 across the 3 versions?
Across the 3 variants. Okay. I'm going to be totally honest here too and say, and I'm glad you said it first, I really love Only You, but I love the song. I think it's a brilliant song. Like, it's a real brilliant song. And I have to admit, that was one of my favorites because I just love that song. So I'm going to go with Only You.
There's 1.
Yeah.
Second one, Alan.
Lord. Maybe get Elliot to choose one first so I can have a
Go
little
on,
look at the
Elliot.
listing again.
I'll pick one. I'm gonna
Excuse
go
me.
with a cover because it's like, because not only is it like one of my favorite Christmas songs, but I really like this version of it. There's of course Santa Baby. Like I think that just like that as a song, I just really really love. But also like it's just fun to hear different versions of it because I like her one's proper like nice and sort of sweet and pop. There's like, I mean, the stupid version that I've listened to a few times as well is Miss Piggy from the Muppets singing it, who's also fucking class. But like it's such a good song for people to sort of like do, and I really really like that one that she did.
You're so
I mean,
basic, Elliot. You're
you've got to
so
give a
basic.
mention to the
know,
Danny,
but I
to
love
the
it.
Danny.
There you go. Someone's
yeah.
gone actual good. 100 degrees.
No, it is, I
It's an
mean, come
actual
on, it's a great.
tune.
It is great.
It's a
But
tune.
I also want to give a little honorary mention to, and I think I sent you the link, didn't I? The Stock Aitken and Watering remix of Every Day is Like Christmas. I mean, come
Mic
on.
drop.
Yes,
It is
Yeah.
just legendary.
It wouldn't have been my favorite in its original incarnation, but then somebody had the brilliant idea to get Saw to give it the Saw treatment. And
Yeah.
I remember thinking, oh God, do I want to hear this? Because, this might be awful. But it started playing and I was just straight back in 1987 again.
Brilliant.
And I was like, wow. And then it genuinely lent itself really well to that kind of 80s makeover. Lovely little addition to it. Yeah.
It made the track something, because the original track was okay. It was written by Coldplay for Kylie. Do you remember the video for it, Alan?
I don't, I have to be honest with you.
It was
never have watched the video.
Budget, and she had her boyfriend, the one, that actor dude, I can't remember his name.
The one that cheated on her
at the time. Yeah. Oh, I have a story about that as well. I'll tell you that in a second. But yeah, he was in it. It was really quite cringy. But let me tell you my story about him. What was his name? I've erased it from my
You couldn't force it out of me if you had a cattle prod next to me. I've no idea.
Well, I never liked him, right? So year one, I didn't like
random
him.
guy.
He was
Very
he was an
cute,
actor.
though.
It was beautiful. Joshua Sass, something like that.
That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
Came back to me. He was in some TV show that Kylie did, and they started they got engaged, Elliot. Like they were engaged, married, and he was like a lot younger than her. But anyway, the second year when I went back to the Royal Albert Hall, I was with my friend Sive. We went 2 years in a row together, and he was stood outside with all his family, smoking outside. And they were like just outside like a door. And I was like, decide, well, that's Kylie's boyfriend. Or maybe he was fiance at that point. And she was like, oh my God. And I was like, we don't like him. I was like, he's not good for her. He's not good for her. Lo and behold, like 3 months later, they sped up. I knew he was a bad one. I didn't like him. He cheated on her, little fucker.
I don't know what happened. Did he cheat on somebody else famous or something? It was a bit of a big deal, wasn't it?
He had a kid with someone else, didn't he?
Really? Wow. Okay. Bad egg. Yeah.
That's always
he was basically a money grabber. He was a licker. You haven't picked, between the two of you, there's a classic you haven't picked. Sorry, I can't move on. There's a classic, and it's on all three versions. So I'll give you a clue to what am I trying to say? To whittle it down, it is on the new version.
Well, they're all just classics from here on in. Is it? Have yourself?
It's not a cover. It's not a cover. It's not a cover. It's a Kylie original.
Is it 2,000 Miles?
That's a cover.
Is it? I've never heard that. Don't know if I've ever heard that one. I'll be totally honest with you. Oh God, it's not a cover.
Not a cover, and it's on the new version. Christmas isn't Christmas till you get here. Christmas isn't Christmas till you get here. It's a classic.
It's right at the end. Yeah, so good they put it right at the end. Yeah.
There'll also be other Kylie fans out there that are shouting, thinking I was going to say White December, because White December is also a great track that was from album 1 that has made it to album 3. But for me personally, Christmas isn't Christmas till you get here. It's a really nice. When Kylie does Christmas tracks, like original ones, she does them really, really well.
Yeah. It's pretty flawless as Christmas album goes. I just think that with the show of goodwill this week, and the fact that what I will say is, to any hardcore Kylie fans that listen to this all the time, like, we have to show this level of enthusiasm when another new single comes out. Because look, I'm still annoyed over Say Something, like I am. I'll never get over it, I'll never get over the fact that we let it get to number 54. But then also, Magic and all those other songs from Disco, and then the other singles from Tension, we just kind of we haven't shown this level of enthusiasm for so long. I think we just got caught up in the Christmas thing. But if we can come together the next time she releases new music and just say, let's get this energy going and see if we can keep her chart career going another couple of years, you know?
I agree. And Elliot, we've mentioned a few times there's a Kylie forum called Say Hey, and I've left Say Hey many a time because it
You
generally
keep
just
getting
gets
lured back
really
in, though.
well. Because I know
Go
when
on.
Say Hey's good, Say Hey's good. So Say Hey last week the Kylie XMAS track was an absolute joy to be in last week because it was all the positivity. There was one little bit of negativity for a few pages that people shot down eventually. But like that's the spirit, people. That's what we need all the time. That's
Yeah.
if you're on Say
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I mean. Like sometimes Say Hey is an absolute cesspit. I have left it many a time. But last week I
Does it
needed to
get
know the updates on sales.
Yeah.
does it get kind of like quite hard to deal with, or does it get kind of like messy in there when like things aren't going well? Is it like a thing where like when certain eras have
they
been like
just like
certain
to
things,
fight.
but
But
they
they
just
don't.
like to
The thing is, I think you can please them because it's like most fandoms. I mean, there was a lot of talk last week among, oh, well, you know, it's slightly like, you know, she's playing a bit of trickery and you know, there's a genuine hit and stuff. And I'm like, listen, hang on a fucking second. Look, anybody who, you know, I'm not going to single out Taylor, but they're all at it. But, you know, they all are.
Hey now, hey, excuse me.
I don't. I know. Look, I love Taylor. We have to talk about the documentary in a minute. Amazing to say
This is
that.
a Kylie podcast, Alan.
No, I know. When we hang up, But I think sometimes the fans are their own worst enemies. You know, because they're all like, "Oh, it doesn't feel like it's organic. It's all a bit staged." I'm like, look, you know what? Here she is out here releasing music. It doesn't really matter. Okay, nowadays it's a bit of smoke and mirrors. You know, who's not doing it? So to maybe just be that negative in release week and to go, it doesn't feel real. Like, just be thankful that she's out here giving you some songs, you know, and regardless of how the hell she got there, she's there. And let's just enjoy it while it fucking lasts because you never know when
And
it's
she
over.
worked her arse off. She was on Jingle Bell Ball. She was on Strictly. I mean, I have never seen one person on so many radio shows. I mean, literally every single show on Heart, Capital, Hits, she has been on them all. They're still, I saw today, they're still playing some of them that haven't been played yet or going out on Christmas Day. Like she pre-recorded loads of shit.
Wow.
And, you know, she put the work in. She's got the ethic, my friend. She's got the ethic. Well,
I think that's the thing. I think that's an interesting thing with the way that like you could very easily say like there's all this it's not an organic hit or whatever they called it, but like I think that if you probably look back at like old Christmas like number ones of the past, there is probably a rigorous amount of planning and rollout for those songs to get them to where they are. Nothing is done truly naturally these days.
I would send. There's a documentary on the iPlayer about the chart, really, and to focus on the Christmas chart. Like in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, anyone who says, oh, there's too much trickery nowadays. Back then, they used to go in and fucking pay the record shops and say, listen, will you just tell us you sold 50 copies, even though we know you only sold 5? Because back then, you had to write down how many you sold and put it on a bit of paper. There was none of this. You know, the Gallup didn't really, the charts company existed, but there was no collation. So they judged the single on how many copies they sold to the shops, and then the shops would feed it back. So there was mass trickery going on. People have always done a little extra something. So for them to focus on that, it just annoyed the shit out of me. It's like, shut up and just enjoy it.
It was the same with the X Factor song. When the X Factor song was out, when you went to the till, because people still went to HMV at the time, or even you were in the supermarket, they were just selling it everywhere, like literally on every till. Like, do you want a copy of Shane Ward or Little Mix or whatever? Alexandra Burke, some really great Christmas number ones that sold like 500,000 in a week because of all that stuff. So the trickery has existed, but the benefit and the joy of it all is that it enabled us to have one last podcast where we got to celebrate, to say goodbye to the podcast and to celebrate that we finished the year on a Kylie number one album and a Kylie number one single. Hurrah to KM.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's been brilliant. I think we'd have been very happy with 2023, wouldn't we, really, in terms of, okay, that's a nice tail end to her career. And then, 2 years later, here we are talking about another little Kylie Renaissance. So,
if she can just come back and give us some more content next year, if she comes back with another banger next year, and obviously we're now hearing the rumors of the 2027 40th celebration tour. So listen, we could be back. Who knows?
Interesting.
Time bomb
Did
could
you not
live
hear that,
on.
Elliot? Yeah, Taylor's going to
No,
have a lot to
I'm-
answer for. Kylie needs to copy Taylor and do proper eras, right?
I agree.
Because I'll
I
be
think
here
go
for the
for it.
let's get to it era. You know, a proper let's get to it.
You'll be there with
Oh
your
my
flag
God.
being like, give me the era, give me the era.
We were
now."
in the Point Depot in 1991.
No, but
We were
but can
there.
Give it
you
to me
think
now.
about how niche it would be, but at the same time, imagine hearing the opening refrain to "I Guess I Like It Like That," even if it
Fuck
was
me.
just 10 seconds of it. You know, for the older queens in the audience. Thank you to everybody who watched over the last 6, 7, 8 months. I think it was now, and
Yeah. Unplanned because we didn't know when it was going to finish or how it was going to go because we winged it the whole way along. But we get to finish it
We
with the
did.
Christmas
I know.
special.
Amazing.
Just like, you know, who doesn't have a Christmas special? Merry Christmas to one and all.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Happy
indeed.
Christmas to you too, and happy Christmas
And
to one
Merry
and all.
Christmas
We
to you
might see you
too.
next year. We'll get back to you on that.
Happy
We'll find something to do.
XMAS.
XMAS.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.